Hello everyone, in today's class we are going to learn how to save time in Maths Module 2. In Maths Module 2, after question 15, the questions are very time consuming. So if we can save time early, we can utilize that time for difficult questions later. Today in class, we are going to use Desmos for practice. Its interface is similar to Blue Book Graphical Calculator. And the best part is it's very easy to use. You just need to type and graphical calculator will provide the graph of the equation as you can clearly see. So let's start with the first question for today's class. We are starting from system of equation, basic algebra question. Find the solution to the given system of equation. We have given two equations here. The equation first is 3x plus 4y is equal to 18. The second equation is 5x minus 2y is equal to 4. During exam, you can use elimination method or substitution method to solve this. But if you want to save time, we should use graphical calculator. Let's see how it will work. You just need to enter the equation the way they are. The equation here in the general equation form given. So just enter in the way 3x plus 4y is equal to 18. And the second equation here is 5x minus 2y is equal to 4. The moment you will enter the second equation, we are getting an intersection point. And focus on this point. The intersection point is providing the value of x and y. X is 2, y is 3. And they are our solution for this equation. So as you can see, graphical calculator is generating calculation very faster, right? Now let's solve the same question with manual method. Here we are going to use elimination approach. For that, if we multiply the second equation with 2, the equation will become 10x minus 4y is equal to 8. And the y variable can be cancelled out. So when you perform addition, it will become 13x is equal to 26. X is equal to 2. Now substitute the value of x in equation first. And we are getting 3 times of 2 plus 4y is equal to 18. Now transfer constant to the right hand side. So 4y is equal to 12 and y is equal to 3. So yes, we are getting the same x and y value from elimination method. But as you can clearly see, graphical calculator is much way faster. Now notice one thing here. The moment you will enter in the general equation, we are getting graph for the equation. But in the setting, there is a no table. Now what table it is? Table is basically providing the values of input and output. So during exam, if you want input and output particular values, make sure to enter the equation in input-output form. So enter the equation like y is equal to 3x plus 5. Now check in the setting. The moment you will go in the setting, the table feature is available. And we are getting the input and output values for the equation. So in exam, make sure to remember if you want values of input and output, enter the equation in slope-intercept form. And if you don't want the table, you just want the intersection point or graph, you can enter the equation in general equation form. Okay, let's move to the second question for today's class. As you can see, we have given a student's study R and the score he is getting accordingly. So the table is providing the values of study of R's and scores. And as you can clearly see, the question is saying which of the following options could be the equation of the line. The moment you will read the equation line, it means it's a linear equation. And all 4 options are also available in the linear equation form. Now for this question, during exam, you can use manual method and you can use Desmos as well. So let's first learn how to use Desmos. For this question, first of all, see this smart feature of Desmos. In the setting, you can delete all the previous work if you want to save time. So it will hardly take 1 second to delete the previous work. But right now we want to delete the previous question and we are shifting to the second question. Now for this, there is a one hidden feature The feature is this plus sign. In this plus sign, we are getting the table feature. The moment you will use this table, you are getting x1 and y1 and the table form. Now, you just need to enter the values from the given question here in this table, input and output. And let's see what we can do now. So, enter the value of x1 as 1 and the value of y1 as 52. The second value of x is 2 and the second value of y2 is 57. The third value of x1 is 3 and the value of y is 62. The fourth value for this is 4, simple, and the value of y1 is 67. Simple task, just copy the value of table. That's it. Now see, on the left hand side, we are getting this symbol. And this symbol is like very helpful. This called regression. Just select this symbol and you are getting equation of this input and output table. And when you see in the options, the option A is 5x plus 47 is the correct answer because that is our equation. Now in this linear regression, we have other regression options as well. Quadratic, cubic, quartic. But in this question, we need to focus on linear equation because of this line, right? So we are going to focus on linear regression and see this feature r square. This r square is equal to 1 is basically giving you the idea that the value that you have entered in this table are according to the line of best fit. If this r square is equal to 1, it means the points are according to the equation. If it is less than 1, it means the coordinates are less scattered and the equation is not justifying accordingly. So in exam, always remember, if you want assurance whether this equation and the regression is right or wrong, make sure to check r square is equal to 1. Okay. Now solve the same question with manual method. For this, as you can see, out of 4 options, 3 options have slope of m. So first we need to find slope because the one option is 4. What you feel, what you will do during exam. Just go step by step right now. So slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now substitute the values from the table. X1 can be any value from the table and the y1 as well. So x1 is 1, so then y1 will be 52. x2 is 2, so then y2 will be 57. Substitute the values here in the equation. 57 minus 52 divided by 2 minus 1. Slope formula rise over run, right? So we are getting 5 by 1 and that is our slope. Now the next part for this question, after finding the slope, use point slope equation form. What is point slope equation form? Y minus y1 is equal to mx minus x1. So basically in the question, if we don't have y-intercept, we use this form. So it will directly make the equation easy. Substitute the values from the table. Substitute the value of y2 as 52, m as 5, which is our slope, x minus 1. Y is equal to 5x minus 5 plus 52. So basically the equation that we are getting from this is 5x plus 47. Say, but again, the regression feature is very smart to use during exam. And trust me, it's very helpful. Okay, so I hope you got the idea how to work the Desmos. Let's see if there is any limitation for graphical calculator. Let's check out from the next question. As you can see, the third question is f of x is equal to mx plus 12. So in the equation, we have something missing, that is m. And the information that they have given is f of 4 is equal to minus 20. And they are asking what will be the outcome when input is minus 4. So what we can do here for this question. So for manual method, quite simple. But let's see what Desmos will do if you enter the equation the way it is here. So the moment you will enter f of x is equal to mx plus 12. And see, we are not getting any graph. But look at this. The Desmos is saying something. So in exam, whenever you see this sign, just click on it and check what they are saying. They are saying too many variables. Try defining n. It clearly indicates, it means that Desmos understands x and y, input and output, not other variables, because it's calculator, not human. So either you have to define it. So how you will define, we will learn later, but right now we have figured it out that this is the limitation. So what we will do for this question? We have table again and we are going to use that feature. But for that, we need some logic now. So the moment you will see mx plus 12, basically this is slope-intercept equation. And what is slope-intercept equation? This is our slope, x coefficient, and this is our y-intercept. Now what is y-intercept? Basically, y-intercept is the point where the line is intersecting on the y-axis. And if it is intersecting on the y-axis, it means the input, or let's say the value of x, must be 0. It means in this question, when input is 0, the outcome is 12. Okay, so we are getting one coordinate from this logic that input is 0, output is 12 because slope-intercept equation form. And the another input and output they have already given, which is 4 minus 20. And now work is very simple. So now use this logic and use the table feature. The moment you will use this feature, you just need to enter the values. Input is 0, output is 12, and the another input is 4, and outcome we are getting is minus 20. And yes, we are getting the symbol regression again. And the moment you will enter, you are getting the equation for this coordinates. Enter these coordinates and you are getting equation. That's how simple it is. Now what we can do, see this equation. When you touch this, the equation is available here. And basically why we are doing this, because the moment you will use this equation in here, we are getting table. And in this table, now you already know that we are looking for the value when input is minus 4, what is outcome. And focus, 44 is our result that we are getting for this question. So simple, a little bit use of logic with smartness of Desmos will generate the answer quick, faster, right? Now solve the same question with the help of manual method. So again, the first thing we already observed that input is 0 and outcome is 12. And another input is 4 and outcome is 20. So we are going to use rise over run slope formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So basically it will become y2 minus y1, so 12, minus minus will become plus, so 12 plus 20 divided by 0 minus 4. So we can write down 32 by minus 4 and which is minus 8. So after finding m, which is our missing variable, what we will do? We will substitute this minus 8 in this equation. So it will become f of x is equal to minus 8x plus 12. Input is minus 4 and they are asking for outcome. So simple, substitute the value of x as minus 4. Minus 8 minus 4 plus 12. 32 plus 12. And the result is 44. Same question can be done with manual method. But depend on situation, if you can use logic, try to use this feature because it is safe for linear regression with two coordinates. So after finding out the regression approach, let's see, can we break the limitation of Desmos? So we have the next question, which is comparison based. X minus 4 is equal to x minus d. equal to x square minus 3dx plus m. So many missing variables in the same equation. In the equation above, d and m are constants. If the equation is true for all values of x, what is the value of the product of d and m? So yes, I know that math student will say is simply expand the left hand side and you can compare the left hand side with right hand side, right? But let's see, can we do something with the graphical calculator with so many missing variables? Yes, in Desmos we have one more feature, that is tilde sign. Now this tilde sign is basically used when we have comparison based equation. If you want to compare something equation form and want to figure it out the missing values, you can use this feature. Let's see how it will work. So we have x minus 4, right? So here I am going to do something a little different. I am not using x, I am using x1 and x1 minus 4 bracket close. Again we have another x. So x1 minus d, the another missing variable, bracket close. Now we are going to use tilde. We are not going to use equal sign. Equal sign is basically for getting the graph. But here we want the values in the comparison. So we are going to use this one. Now enter the equation x1 square. Yes, we can use the power with x1 as well. So x1 square minus 3d, which is again a missing variable, x1 and then plus n. Work is done. Let's wait. See here we are getting x1 as 1 and the value of d is 0.83. So when we are using x1, why we are using this x1? Basically, x and y is for to generate the graph. So when we don't want x and y, we are using x1 and y1. So we can get the missing variable with this tilde function. Because the moment you will enter x and y, the graphical calculator will think, okay, I need to generate something, the graph, because that is for input and output. And for that we need equal sign, but we are using this tilde. So we need to define this x1 as well for final assurance and the accurate correct answer. So just define the values of x1 and remember we are using this big bracket, not small bracket to define the values. So we are going to use x1 as now 1, 5, 56, 4, any random values. So we have defined the values of x. So now x is not only one value because by default graphical calculator will consider x1 as 1. So make sure always use this feature with this tilde sign. Now the value of d is 2 and the value of m is 8. And what the question is asking? Multiplication of d and m. It means we are getting our answer 16 for this question. Clear? Okay. Now go for the manual method as well. You can start the timer at home and see how fast it works. Okay. So x minus 4 and x minus d. You will expand this, so it will become x square minus 4x, then minus dx, and then last one is plus 4 times d is equal to x square minus 3dx plus n. Now here we have this x variable and here we have the x variable. So we are going to compare x variable coefficient in both sides. So let's say minus 4x minus dx is equal to minus 3dx. Take x common, or let's say minus x common. So it will become 4 plus d is equal to minus 3dx. Minus x and minus x will cancel out. So it will become 4 plus d is equal to 3 times of d. Transfer this d variable on the right hand side. So it will become 2 times of d is equal to 4. And the value of d is 2. So yes, we are getting the value of d as 2. Now substitute this here because as you can see we know that 4 times of D is equal to M. So 4 multiplied by 2 is equal to M is equal to 8. Now in exam, don't make hurry and write down M as 8 for the final answer, because we are not looking for the value of M. The question is asking for D times M. So it will become 8 times 2 and 16 is the final answer. Under pressure, most of the students make the mistake and enter 8 or sometimes 2 as the answer, which is incorrect. Okay. So now let's see one more question for the practice part, that this tilde is something new for you. So let's see. As we can see in the previous question, the question was very easy. We can solve manual method, we can use tilde function, but we started with the easy one so that your brain can familiar with the something new, which is tilde. Now let's take a look for this question. In exam, when you get these types of question, you can clearly see that manual approach, like after taking LCM and then cross multiplication, can be a little bit time consuming, as well as you can utilize this question for practice as well. So let's see whether the tilde function will work or not. So here in the question we have equation 12x square plus 2x plus 2 over ax plus 2 is equal to 3x minus 1 plus 4 over ax plus 2. The equation is about true for all values of x except x cannot be minus 2 over a. Now a is a constant, and what is the value of a? Let's see tilde function for again this type of question. So we are not going to use x. Remember, we are going to use x1 because we are not using equal sign, tilde sign. So start with 12 x1 square plus 2x plus 2 over bracket ax1 plus 2. Now in numerator, when I know that in the denominator again we have a function, always make sure to start with the bracket, so it will not make a problem later. After this, use tilde. 3x1 minus 1 plus 4. Now here we have ax plus 2 with this 4 only. So over a x1 plus 2. And we are getting again x1 as 0.33. But remember, define x1 whenever you are using tilde. So x1 with the use of big bracket, assign values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we are getting the value of a as a 4. Let's check the same question with manual method now. For manual method, some student will prefer to transfer 3x minus 1 to the left hand side and then taking the LCM. But let's solve with the left hand side. Keep on left hand side only, and with the right hand side take the LCM. So the right hand side part will become 3x multiplied by ax plus 2 minus 1 again getting multiplied with ax plus 2 plus 4 and divided by ax plus 2. So now expand, or let's say multiply this. So it will become 3ax square plus 6 times of x minus ax minus 2 and plus 4. Now we have left hand side sorted In denominator ax plus 2, on the left hand side again we have ax plus 2. It means it can be cancelled out. In the numerator we have 12x square plus 2x plus 2. X square coefficient on the left hand side is 12. Right hand side we have 3ax square. So we will say 12 is equal to 3a. It means the value of a that we are getting is 4. So here we are getting a as a 4. Here we are getting a as a 4. Just after the LCM and then comparison. And here with the tilde function, and make sure to define x1. So I hope you like this video with these features of tilde and regression. Thank you so much.